Hi gang, this is Heather for Liberty Librarian. How you doing this week? Nice to see you all. It's kind of been a really weird week for me. Um, let's see, where do I start? For myself, I thought for a minute there I might have COVID. So I had a little bit of a sore throat and sniffles and stuff. And there's been like so many more COVID cases in the Mankato area where I live. So I went and got tested on Tuesday, and it took a little while for it to come through. And finally, I got the results, and I'm okay. So I need to send that to a couple people yet. So they're probably like, if they're watching the show, they're like, you should have told me. I just found out, guys. Just found out. So that was a huge relief because it's really spiking in this area. I live in the Midwest, and it seems like everything has come from the outside edges into the middle. So we're kind of having a poop storm right now of all this COVID action. So luckily, though, I don't have it. I was very happy that I don't have it, but it has made it really hard to get a lot more done this week than I would like to. So it sounds like somebody's mowing their lawn. Oh my God, it's like November, people. You don't need to mow. Um, but most of the snow melted today, so I bet you people are out just like mowing up their leaves so they don't have to deal with it in the spring. What else? This week also, because of all the COVID spiking in the state of Minnesota, our high and mighty governor has decreed that a new executive order of a 4-week lockdown. Boo! Lockdown more. I know it's for our safety, but boo! I don't like it. I'm so tired of all this stuff. Um, what does that mean? Okay, Minnesota, it's very strict. We are having restaurants are going back to just curbside service or drive-through, no sit-in, not even outdoors. So restaurants are kind of hosed right now. Um, like a lot of stores are going to be closed. Hi, Kara. Nice to see you. I don't have COVID. I just found out. Yay. That was a huge relief. And, but wee, my kicks. Wee. So, what all? The, we're not going to get to have Thanksgiving. I mean, like you can have Thanksgiving in your own house with your own family, but you can't go and celebrate with other families or friends, Friendsgivings. So it is a huge freak. Yeah, yay for not having COVID, but boo for all the stupid like executive order bans. And so we can't have more than one family at a gathering, and it has to be everyone that lives in your own house. Uh, Try telling your mother-in-law that. That's super fun. She's in super denial, so I'm not saying that's a good or bad thing, but I was trying to explain that this new rule has 90-day jail time tied to it if you defy it, and also I think up to $1,000. Um, what what is this? The Zoom's giving better than the ICU lull tide. Yeah, I don't want anybody to get sick. And I mean, my parents have already reached out, and we're doing a Zoom's giving, if you want to call it that. It's fine. It's not great, but it's fine. Like my husband and I will make like a ton of food for ourselves, and he already ordered a pie, so I don't. We ordered a lot of pies, so I'm hoping we can get out of some of the pies because there's no way that he and I could be. It's yeah, it's just the person who's hosting is going to have a hard time. You're right. It's I don't know what we're going to do with all these pies. I hope that, Andy probably went and got it, so we only get one pie. So if it's just one pie, he and I can handle that. If it's 3 or 4 pies and buns and everything, oh my God, I don't know what we're going to do with that. Maybe we can freeze them. Yeah, I mean, the general consensus in my family is that we're gonna have some mega party when all of this is over. Yeah. Oh, yeah, they get the fine. Well, and like, I mean, I'm not saying anything bad, but my mother-in-law is like super into parties. So, like, she really, really wants it. She's like, we can do it. I'm like, yeah, but what if your neighbors narc you? What if you get sick? I'd feel bad. So I get it. And she's like one that would be shocked and appalled if she got arrested too. So that's the way that goes. But oh, my husband's home. So with this change, there's going to be like no restaurants, no bars, no breweries, no fun stuff. We're homebodies, so it's okay. Hey Andy, I'm doing my show. So it's not so bad. We got video games, we got Netflix, we got like snacks and food and stuff. I mean, I've been cooking more at home, trying to be healthier, so it's not a bad thing. It's just kind of a pain. Hello.
I want my freedom back.
I want my freedom back too.
Give me my freedom.
No gyms, yes. I mean that we were doing that anyway right now. No Steve's Meat Market.
No.
Is it?
No gym.
No gym. Oh no. Oh, I thought you were talking about. Like, my brain went right to smoked meat. I'm like, yay, meat. Hopefully grocery stores stay open, but no gyms. You're right, Kara. Like they said that they would. Oh, so like everybody pitched in. If it was $125 a person, they could have like everybody if they got fined. But what if it's per person? You know, like what if it's $1,000 for each person? They're not like the whole party. I mean, I don't know. Oh, wine and ribs tonight sounds really good, Kara. That sounds amazing. I'm probably gonna have a shorter show tonight because we're gonna go celebrate the fact that I don't have COVID and go have like a nice dinner before restaurants aren't an option, and that's what we're gonna do. So and I might have a beer. I don't know. I've been doing really good. I'm drinking my tea, but I might have one small one because I feel like the stress of this week has been immense and I'm beyond myself. I mean, like every state around us doesn't have these kind of extreme rules. Everybody's got mask rules pretty much. I don't think South Dakota does, but they're having a bigger spike anyway. But nobody else is having this like anti-Thanksgiving lockdown. I just wonder how people are going to take it. I think the thing that was more interesting to me is the fact that I knew about these rules like yesterday, and there are people I've been like chatting with online who had no idea it was going on. That like I wonder how many people are going to just still have Thanksgiving and have no idea, and then like the cops get called on them. Like, what do you say? Like, what? Why is this a thing? It's like our families. It doesn't make sense. None of this makes sense. It's actually quite horrific. So really what they're doing is they're taking away everything we love so they can soften us up for doing a vaccine. And you know, after going in this week and doing the spit, it's a spit test. You sit and it's a saliva test instead of the nose poke. So it was easy in one way, but it was like spitting for 10 minutes. So if you like can't make a lot of spit, you might have a hard time doing it. Just saying. I kind of wish there was an antibody test so I know if I've already had it before or if I'm like immune in some way. I don't know. Like they can supposedly make a vaccine so quickly, why can't they test to see if you've already had it and let you know? But because obviously if you can have immunity against it, then a vaccine would work. And if you don't have immunity against it and you can get it again, a vaccine wouldn't work. The thinking that they're sending out is rather illogical. So that's a thing. What else? I've been trying really hard to tell people stop being blatant on your social media about if you're gonna have a party anyway or whatever, because the CDC tweet, no, I didn't see it. You got a link, Kara? I would like to see that. They don't be posting that you're going to have a party. Don't make it easy for people to narc on you. Um, it says after you take vax, you still have to mask and distance. Probably because you're a carrier. Then you could probably infect people. So how are they going to do this? I read that they were looking at having the elderly and people who work in the medical professions do this first. And if that's the case, what if our medical people, all of them get sick from this? Who's going to take care of the rest of us? It's just bonkers. So I wonder how long after you vaccinate if you have to mask and distance. If it's like a week, 2 weeks, uh, like is the whole world gonna stop? It's not a live vaccine, so like how long are you gonna have to mask and distance? Does that mean it doesn't even work? So you cannot be a carrier. So then why do you have to mask and distance if you take a vaccine? Because aren't you vaccinated against it? I mean, like this is just like my brain's going in circles because I don't understand it. They they obviously don't have an actual vaccine then, and they're going to make you take it. Yeah, so that's super fun. Yay! Um, I think that yeah, this was odd. I agree, Kara. That is super odd. It's super duper odd. And it's like they're making crap up as they go. But back to what I was just saying. If you are going to do things that are governor thinks are illegal, don't flaunt it for God's sakes. Um, don't have your phone on because they're going to track everybody. Or get a Faraday bag or something, block your signal, turn off all your GPS. But I would just say just turn off your phone totally. Not saying that you should, but if hypothetically, if you're gonna, that's a better idea. But also, and I've seen this a few times, don't don't say that you're going to because they're going to start tracking you if they haven't already. They're going to track you, and they're going to target people who are deliberate and anti. So please be thoughtful about your rebelliousness. One of the things that I would say is they haven't limited travel, so you could go to another state, but they will probably make you come back and quarantine for 2 weeks. And that might be a thing anyway because you may be quarantining anyway because everything's shut down. So just saying there are options for us Minnesotans. We are in the worst timeline. And I feel for you all and I feel really jealous that some states don't have this to the way we do, but we're super safe. So it's going to be okay. So I'm doing a lot of Zooming, I guess, next week. Yay. But I'm planning on, since I'm not going anywhere, I think I'm going to do a short little Thanksgiving show, even though it's on that day, but I'm not going anywhere. So it depends what time all the other Thanksgiving stuff goes on, because I have like, I think 2 days of Thanksgiving Zooms because we have like separate family stuff. So yay! I'm so sick of Zoom. So sick of it. So also there's big news going on. Okay, so that's enough of COVID. It's just a bunch of crap, right? It's boring and sad and depressing and sick of it. So I don't have a huge theme of the show today, except I just wanted to talk about, there's a lot going on. I when you pass a test, it's a good thing. But this time I failed the test. I negative a test. I have a negative result. So that was a good thing. So one of the first tests that I failed that I'm really happy I failed. So yeah, I don't have COVID. Um, Also, big news. They said it was okay, although it's kind of confusing. We have some big changes at Freedom Revolution Network. That's where the Liberty Librarian is, and we live. And over the years, I know it's years. Can you believe it? It's years. My show has moved from Freedomizer to Freedom Revolution Network, and now we're making a big change right now. It's really cool. The new station is going to be, it's still Freedom Revolution Network, but it's going to be KRLN. KFRN-DB. So it's like a radio station or a TV station signal. So, okay. DB is digital broadcast. I had to find out what that meant. So they got a license, and we have a new station manager, not station manager. It is, I gotta look it up again, what his title is. Co-owner and program director for Freedom Revolution, Mike Life, LIF, Leaf, like Leaf Carrot. I don't know what your last name is. New owner, co-owner. So really nice guy, and he came from KFRK. It's K Freak. It's the Freak Radio from Colorado, and so we are merging stations together. He comes with a lot of background in broadcasting, and we're going to be changing some formatting, but as of now, Liberty Librarians stay in the same place, same bat channel, same bat time. But you're going to see some things kind of tweaking. They're going to have more stuff between the shows, some bumpers. The Freak Child Experience is where Mike comes from. Thank you, Alicia. That's the name of the show. So really nice guy. Got to talk to him earlier this week for the first time, and really cool guy. He has a baby Yoda, Kara. He has a baby Yoda, so but he's not as nice to the baby Yoda as he should be. I'm just saying, like, I'm like, don't toss baby Yoda. You know, you gotta like love on the baby Yoda. Baby Yoda is life. So he's not all bad because he's got a baby Yoda, right? Okay, so we're gonna be switching things up. We have a new website design coming up for the Freedom Revolution Network page. There's going to be like lots of really cool. Yes, Alicia, stop Baby Yoda abuse. We all got mad. It was like we saw Baby Yoda and we were in love, but then he like tossed Baby Yoda over. I'm like, no, nobody tosses Baby Yoda in a corner. Sorry. So yes, I might need therapy. But it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I think it's going to be really fun. We're going to get official documentation of our new digital broadcasting station stuff. I know Alicia has talked to me about it, but we're going to be doing press passes. So we're going to be doing more news coverage and the like, getting out there, getting more shows. So if you're interested in doing a show, reach out. Freedom Revolution Network, they're always looking for new hosts. And we have like at least it looked like 4 new shows coming to the channel because we're all merging. So it's gonna be amazing. We are super excited about the changes. It's all, it's always scary too, because you're like, I don't know how this is all gonna work, but new roundtable show. This is one of the things I thought was really cool, Alicia, is that I think once a month we said we are going to all have the shows get together and, like everybody on the screen, and we'll all be chatting about everything about like the network, about life. Like you get to know all of us at once and how we get along. And like when we had our meeting the other day, it was just such a fun group and we all had a blast. And I just think it's cool. I don't know how it's going to work with all of us being at different times, but yes, it's going to be amazing. So I just, I'm going to say, like, if you're ever interested in doing this kind of thing, you have like great support people and technology people helping you figure it all out and working together, and we all help each other. And I just think it's kind of amazing. I'm really excited that the changes are happening, and I think it's going to be a fun time. So you may notice some changes, some differences, some things. And I just think like it'd be kind of cool. Okay, this is me just thinking. Okay, because it's November now. We're going to be working on updating stuff and websites and getting things ready. It'd be nice if we could just unveil it. New year, new Freedom Revolution, right? So I just think that's kind of cool. what would you guys like to see in the new Freedom Revolution Network? I mean, you may know only my show. You should go check out the other shows. They're amazing. They're such really good. It's a wide variety of interests. So mine's more like on the nerdy end of the spectrum, but like I feel like some of the other shows they get out there and they do real hard news stuff and it's neat and the weather updates are just like they blow my mind. I know so much more about weather and like environmental events than I ever did in my life before I joined Freedom Revolution Network. And it's just fun to have people who, yeah, like, wouldn't it? Yeah, just tell us if, like, feedback is good. If there's something you want to see more of, like, let's do it. There's not a lot of, streaming networks. There's podcast networks out there. So this is kind of like a fun new area that I haven't seen touched on by a lot of groups. There's a few, I mean, there's a lot of people doing streaming, but they aren't working together. And I think if you work together, it makes you stronger and better and you like learn from each other. Because I looked at some of my first month of doing this, I had like so many technology problems getting OBS to work, and now I'm on StreamYard. I love StreamYard, works great, but like getting better at it. One thing I'd like, I mean, I just like this is my Christmas list, is something that would connect all the comments that come after the show on from this like the different social media sites into one place so we can just do all commenting from one instead of like going go TikTok, go YouTube, go Facebook, go Twitch, go Twitter, go you know what I mean? It's like there are some things that are very time consuming. It'd be kind of neat if there's ways that anybody who's doing shows could streamline it a little bit better. But I know I like the format of this show. I do enjoy every once in a while having more interviews, so that would be kind of fun for my New Year's resolution. Do a few more. I don't feel like that. I feel like when there's somebody I want to talk to. Oh, yeah, ask Mel if she knows there's something like that, right? If there's some way that we could get all the comments together, that would be so much easier. I know that they really wanted us to use the comments on the website, but I think like the majority of our comments are going through social media first. And it would be nice if it was all, even on the website, it was all combined, because then you're getting everybody. So, if anybody knows, Mel would know. Yeah, and we like Mel's our computer guru, tech lady, and she is awesome. And one of the things that I always liked about Freedom Revolution Network was that it was pretty much woman run, and now it's going to be a little different. And so that was like right away. I was like, no, woman run now. But after getting to meet Mike, I feel like it's a good fit, and I think that we're going to do some great things. So I'm kind of excited now. Because my first instinct is like, wait, scary new thing, not sure about it, got to know everything. And, once I start hearing more about what the plans are, I feel better. That's just me. So I think there's going to be a lot of change. I always work on my show too, like to try to make it better. And I mean, I'm looking for feedback because like, what would you like to see more of? What would you like to know more of? I go down rabbit holes all the time. So if there's something that you're like, you should look into, like, I don't know, like new cannabis stuff. Oh, have you ever heard of like, okay, there's CBD, right? A lot of people use that for pain relief and relaxation, anxiety. There's a new thing called CBG. I know. I was like reading about it the other day, and I'm just like, there's so many things that you can go down a rabbit hole. And I was on YouTube looking at plastic surgery, and Marilyn Monroe had plastic surgery. Did you know that? I didn't know that. It's not something that you hear talked about. So, I mean, like, there's so many things that I could look into. And if you are interested in something and you'd like to hear me talk about it, send it to me. Send it to any of the hosts. Like, if you think like another show on our network would be a good fit for it, like send them an idea too, because we're happy to just sit and talk all day because it's easy and I could do that. But I really like to find out stuff and share it because I like the educational side of that for my show. I don't know if everybody else has that, but for me, that's the fun part. So that's what's going on. Isn't it cool? It's freaking amazing. So I I think that maybe after January, you're going to see a lot more changes. Right now, it'll probably be just getting everything set up, but I am open to suggestions, as I always am. And I think that we're going to have fun. We're always going to have fun. And so my plan is to keep on doing this for until I get really sick of talking and or lose my voice. So I don't have COVID, so I'm not going to be too sick to do it now. But I think that's kind of awesome. So, on that note, I do have some intellectual freedom news for the week. Let me have a sip. I think it's winter because I'm stuck inside all the time. My throat's all dry too. So, that's not helping my health situation though. Okay. Have you guys heard of Parler, Parler? That's a new social media free speech app. Let me see if I can show this Wired article real quick. Share screen. There we go. This is what it looks like. So Parler, a lot of the app stores this week promised conservatives a safe space, but it still gives priority treatment to its most high-profile users. So, you know, top level conservatives are using it as a free speech social network. And so a lot of people I know have moved to that one. I downloaded it, I haven't really used it. I'm having a hard time switching from Facebook yet, but we'll see. That might be something that's in the future. There are only 2 rules on Parler. It says the free speech social network. First, nothing criminal. Second, no spam. Yeah, I like that. Other than that, you can post what you want, the site advertise without fear of being deplatformed for your views. So that's the big reason why people are moving in droves to it. Let me see. So what else they said? They said that in the past week, because of all the craziness of people feeling like they're well after November really a lot of people are being dinged by Facebook. They're being shut down. I've heard of I think different parties are having to take down tons of videos because they're getting dinged for that. It is just mass political genocide, if you want to say, on Facebook. Terrible, terrible. So in 1 week, it went from 4.5 million users to more than 8 million. It is growing exponentially because people are sick of the shit. They're sick of not being able to talk. They're not being able to just share their thoughts. And that's what a social media network should be. It should be a place where you feel open and confident that you can say what you want. I think Facebook cracked down too hard on what they think is misinformation. Misinformation doesn't necessarily mean different opinions. You can have political spectrum things that are left and right. And some things are kind of hard to prove. So even if it's a political thing, that is not misinformation. It is just a opinion or it has facts in it, but sometimes you can dispute any fact. So where they're coming from is that a lot of conservatives on Facebook and libertarians too are feeling like their ideas are being shut down. So they are leaving in droves. Twitter added warning labels to the real Donald Trump's Twitter page. And so there are slated conservatives. They're now flocking to Parler, which I think is Parler, not parlay, which I took French, so it's really hard for me not to say that. So we'll see how people say it. Tell me what you think it is in the chat. Parler with an R or parlay with like Y. I mean, I'm just saying phonetically, not actually how it's spelled. It's spelled Parler. So the activity on this platform increased 20-fold in a week. For most of the week, it has been the top free app in both Apple and Google app stores. It's growing. So the freewheeling disposition of the app has made strange mirror world for the rest of social internet. When a post gets liked by Twitter, it's sometimes reborn in Parler and like a phoenix in 280 characters. Accounts are reborn too. After they've been banned elsewhere, people are showing up on Parler. They're calling the other social media like Facebook and Twitter lamestream social media, like mainstream, right? So they're encouraging people to leave Facebook and Twitter to join them on Parler instead. And so this week, the author from Wired magazine decided to follow them to see what it's like. They created an account last Monday. They chose a username, and the app prompted a few of its star users. So a few ones that they said were really top users are conservative political commentator Sean Hannity, who called for an exodus from Twitter. Internet personalities Diamond and Silk were throttled by Facebook in 2018 for sharing dangerous content. And conservative talk show host Mark Levin, whose Facebook account was recently restricted for repeated sharing of false news. So influencers like Dinesh D'Souza, who Vox Media called America's greatest conservative troll, and politicians like Senator Ted Cruz, Representative Devin Nunes, also feature prominently. So this author from Wired, subscribed to 16 accounts recommended. You get up to speed. Most of the users take issue with Twitter. They see it as biased and restrictive, but they made the new home in its image. So it's very similar to a Twitter. They remade their home, and the familiar pictures have been replicated, but renamed. Retweet is an echo, likes or votes instead of blue check mark. It's got a yellow badge that says verified influencer. So it's really growing. So I just thought that was quite interesting about how people have flocked to Parler. That this author, let me just double check the name of it so I don't say it wrong. Oh, where did it go? Probably all the way at the bottom. No, I don't see the author's name. Wired staff. All I see is Wired staff. Okay, so they identified themselves as a author, as a journalist, and did a comment on an introduction post from Team Trump, the official Parler account for the Trump campaign. So welcome to Parler. Help us make America great again. So they're already like kind of an echo chamber of more conservative, which to be fair, I just think we need social media that has all opinions, all voices, and not just one side and the other. I would hate to, like, Facebook becomes like all the Democrats, and Parler becomes all the Republicans, and maybe becomes all the Libertarians. You know, I mean, that's just lame. I mean, I like to be challenged. I like to have like other ideas and talk about stuff. Yes. So I don't know. How do you guys feel about Parler? Have you used it at all? I mean, I downloaded it because I wanted to see what it's about. I don't really like Twitter. You know, I just don't like the format. It's too short. I like to write a lot. I like to talk a lot. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. But I do agree with the not having spam. But the fact that this author their first post, they got spam from the Trump account, kind of violates the rules. So I feel like there's two rules and they already broke one of them. When are they going to break the other rule? So, and it's over and over again. So, I mean, like, some of these rules do help. I mean, I hate to be having people stalked or having people get like constant like spam. I hate getting spam. I get it on like on Librarian. I get messages, and some of them are from actual people who like want me to sell stuff, and I'm just like, it's fine, I get it. But I'm not really doing this. Okay, doesn't make Alicia cringe. I'm not really doing this to make money. If I do happen to make money, cool beans. I wouldn't mind making money. but I'd rather have products that I believe in or associate myself with groups that I feel confident in. I don't really want to just take money from anybody who's willing to throw money at me. So I don't know, but like how are they funding Parlor? That's what I'm kind of wondering. Like where is this started from? Like I'm gonna have to dig more into where they come from because like we got like Zuckerberg and Jack Dorsey and like there's some big platforms. Motzi appears to have the same content moderation questions. So their Facebook, okay, it's well, Parler is the hottest app of the week. It's still small fish in a big pond. Twitter has 330 million users. Facebook has 2 billion. Parler only has 8 million. So while 8 million sounds groovy and awesome, it's only 8 million compared to 2 billion. So it's got a ways to go. However, remember what happened with MySpace. Everyone left MySpace for Facebook. What's going to be the next big thing? You never know. I just think that's kind of interesting. So there are lots of misinformation that's still going to be out there. And I think even as a librarian, I have arguments with people all the time. Do you protect people from misinformation by like thinking for them and saying that's misinformation? Or do you have conversations with people and go, tell me why you think this is real? Here is why it's most likely misinformation, and have a dialogue. I'd rather people learn to think for themselves than to just take everything that's spoon fed to them. So there's pushback on different groups. They're worried that some of these articles will talk about sex trafficking and pedophilia, that people are very nervous about the influencers on sites like Parler. But if you're not a verified influencer on Parler, it's more like watching conversations play out from behind a screen. So, it's kind of how I feel about Twitter too, is like, you're a little more involved with each other when you have your groups that you follow, but the influencers are the ones you're actually been reading. So that's why I don't like Twitter. That's I'm just saying. I'd like to have more control over who I see. I'd rather see the people in my sphere, my friends, my family, people I work with, people in my field. I don't need to see everything that Nathan Fillion writes this week. It's nice, but I don't need to focus on that so much. So I'd like to control the focus, like blur out some of the outside stuff, pull it into more the people I know. So I think that's a problem that you're going to see in a lot of the new social media, and it's by design. They want you to do things. They want you to support political groups. They want you to buy certain things. So it just depends on how they're making their money, right? And you are their product, not the stuff that they're selling as much. You are the product. So that's how they make money. So that's what's going on with Parler. So let me know if you use that at all. I think it's kind of interesting. I am of the opinion that you should try this stuff and think for yourself if it works for you. As we talked about the last few weeks, TikTok ban, is it going to happen? Is it not going to happen? It happens. And then last week when we talked about it, it was overturned by a judge again. This time, I think after the election, the Trump admin doesn't give a shit anymore. So they put a hold on the TikTok ban, and it seems like they've forgotten about it. So they have wandered into other fields. So if you're very worried about TikTok, it seems like that has gone out of the focus of the Trump administration since they are on their way out. And let's see, it was supposed to, TikTok was supposed to suspend all US operations as of midnight last week, and it didn't happen. And it got thrown out by a judge for a while, and the president had 2 executive orders earlier this year. The first was for August 7th, declared the app to be a national emergency, and the second, issued a week later, gave ByteDance, TikTok's parent company, 90 days to divest the app to a U.S. owner. Didn't happen, and after last week on November 12th, ByteDance had not divested any portion of TikTok, and it is still working, and federal courts keep throwing it out. So my guess at this point is that the government had overstepped its legal authority by crafting the ban in the first place, and it's just going to fade away now. So I will keep you updated if you need to worry about TikTok, but at this point, it looks like your TikToking days are still going to happen. So yay, rejoice. We also broadcast to Twitch. So right now I'm live on Twitch as well. And Twitch explains confusing copyright crackdown, and it urges users to delete videos. Twitch apologizes for their vague DMCA notices and discusses pressure from record labels. So a lot of it has to do with the music that is being on the Twitch stream site. This is something that we've been talking about in Freedom Revolution Network. I'm a big believer in being very, very careful with copyright restrictions of music that you put into your shows, and being very careful when you use clips that you follow the right procedures so you don't get dinged. And this is happening in Twitch. So Twitch today, it handled copyright crackdown last month really terribly, told streamers that they have to stop using copyrighted recordings to avoid further takedown notices. It's a popular gaming streaming site, and it was acquired by Amazon for $970 million in 2014. And it was forced to take more aggressive action on copyright by record labels. So sometimes in video games, there's also songs. So it's really hard to show a game that you're talking through it and you're showing the sounds. If the game has a song in the background, it's really hard to show a game if it has both. So people were being forced to take down some of their content, which is their livelihood. A lot of them, this is their job. So they wanted to, they were worried about getting DMCA, which is Digital Millennium Copyright Act, notifications for their music use. The answer that users need to stop using recorded music on their streams if they don't own copyrights, and delete old videos that have copyrighted music in them. So Twitch explained, this is what they said. Most importantly, don't play recorded music in your stream unless you own all rights in the music, or you have the permission of the necessary rights holders. Doing this is the best protection for your streams going forward. If you're unsure whether you own all the rights, it's pretty likely you don't. If you want to include recorded music in your stream, use a fully licensed alternative like Soundtrack by Twitch or other rights-cleared music libraries such as Soundstripe, Monster Cat Gold, Chill Hop, Epidemic Sound, and NCS. So 99% of the copyright notifications in Twitch it received recently from record labels were for tracks that streamers were playing in the background of their stream. But that doesn't mean in-game music is completely safe to use, because it kept getting dinged for people, right? So it's very hard. We haven't received more than a handful of DMCA notifications targeting in-game music. If you're playing games with recorded music in them, we recommend you review their end user license agreement. And this is a tough thing for people to get their minds wrapped around. I talk to faculty at college all the time, and they have a hard time with it. I've talked to people who are doing streaming. They have a very hard time with it. The legal ramifications of using music that is not licensed to you, or like fair use, you know, if you're making any money on your site at all, you are probably going to be in violation. If you ever change to like a for-profit in any way, you will probably be dinged by it. But you might be dinged by it even if you aren't, like you're just like yapping about stuff. Be very, very careful about copyright in your streams, in your videos that you make, in your podcasts. You need to be very careful. So Twitch cracked down like way hard. And they surprised users by issuing a large number of copyright takedown emails. So they didn't give people ample time to prepare. Infringing content. They ran through all of this stuff. I've had a lot of that more on YouTube as well, because I'll show a clip and like I won't even have sound on it, and it doesn't matter. So you need to be very careful about what you're sharing, because they may make you take it down. So RIAA, the Recording Industry Association of America, issued more than 1,800 copyright notices to Twitch users in June alone, after only 710 such notices since 2017. So they are cracking down. There were lots of mistakes made. They promised to provide better system for users in the future. But ultimately, this is like the new world order. And I'm trying really hard for content creators to understand that this is nothing new and this is going to grow and grow. They have so much facial recognition in videos now that they can go through everything and find if you're using someone else's content. They can go through the audio, and if they were looking for matching on songs, they can find out if you're using songs that have not been legally uh, procured. I mean, it's going to be a thing. So I know people were super pissed about it, and we haven't had anything from our channels from Twitch, but it could happen. So, and I think that we all need to be very careful about copyright right now, because these licenses, they can take you to court. It can be a lot of money if you not only don't take it down, but you keep doing it over and over again. Then they are going to have a lot less sympathy for you. So, and it's all about making money, baby. That's all it is. Okay. Take another sip. Another thing I wanted to mention was that Zoom has lied to users about end-to-end encryption for years, FTC says. Now, I work for the state. I will say that, full disclosure. And one of the packages for doing meetings that we've used since all of this and before the pandemic has been Zoom. And one of the reasons that they chose Zoom is because it has encryption, it's supposed to be secure, and as we all know, it's not that secure. They had a problem like early in the year where people were guessing addresses and like showing up in Zoom meetings and flashing people. So pretty bad. But the Democrats blast the FTC Zoom settlement because users won't get compensation. So we're not going to see any money from this. But Zoom has lied. Is agreed finally to update its security practices in a tentative settlement with the Federal Trade Commission, which alleges that Zoom lied to users for years by claiming it offered end-to-end encryption, which it didn't. Since 2016, it misled users, saying that it offered that. It has not. They, despite promising this encryption, Zoom maintained the cryptographic keys that would allow Zoom to access the content of its customers' meetings and secured its Zoom meetings in part with a lower level of encryption than promised. So, if you feel like you've used Zoom in a secure setting for confidential materials, realize, first of all, it could be easily hacked. Second of all, it's not end-to-end encrypted. And third, why the hell did they lie about it? They're supposedly going to work on making it encrypted now. There are more than 10 million. When they started last year, it went from 10 million people using Zoom to 300 million in April 2020 during COVID. So I think you should realize that if you have used Zoom for things that are very private, you may want to rethink that, because the end-to-end encryption is not there. And the FTC calls the Zoom opener unfair and deceptive. There's a web server that bypassed Apple security protocols. They've had a lot of bad practices when it comes to security. And in a way, I think you kind of wonder what they're doing with the information that they're looking at and how they're abusing people who are counting on Zoom to be secure and safe. So if you're not doing secure things, no biggie, right? But if you're thinking like, maybe you're having a meeting with financial advisors over Zoom and you're looking at very secure things that you want secure, it is not secure. So they are the data deletion part of the settlement. So they're keeping copies of all the data from Zoom meetings. So the copies of the data identified for deletion will be now deleted within 31 days. So they have had data breaches. They are misrepresenting their privacy. So Zoom has gone from being a pretty like stellar software kind of thing where people have been using it for education and business. Now it's gone down the pooper. So do not trust Zoom. I use StreamYard. I used to use Zoom more for recording. I'm really glad that I've switched to StreamYard. It's a lot more secure and they have better features anyway. But realize like even Google has their like whatever the Hangout. It's Google Meet now, I think. That it works pretty good. I don't know if you can promise that it is unhackable, but they're not going around saying it has that kind of encryption. There are other options. I think WebEx. I used that the other day. There's so many options, but don't lie about what you can do and what you can't. Right, right, right. So I think that's about it of the news. I was gonna have a kind of shorter show today because I wanted to like have a little dinner with my husband and celebrate that I'm not COVID, but I don't know. So I know, right? Bummer with this everything. Um, it's been such a weird week, guys. I'm really bummed too because I'm gonna be missing everybody. I'm gonna miss you, Kara. I'm gonna miss like hanging out with people. Hopefully, everybody can find a way to get through this Thanksgiving and have a little more fun. I have obviously like since the intellectual freedom news I picked this week is all pretty much that companies suck. I'm gonna go celebrate anyway. Yeah, I think I need to do that. I've been dragging butt this week, but I there's a lot of good stuff to celebrate. I mean, the new Freedom Revolution Network, not having COVID, like just being with a guy. Yeah, fuck that. I just think you gotta just have fun as you can. I'm not gonna stop living because our stupid governor is like gonna say that, but I'm not saying how I'm gonna keep living, but I'm gonna have fun somehow. So screw that guy. Screw him in the pooch. But I know I'm going to get in so much trouble for all of it someday. I'll be in some sort of, I don't know, like podcasting concentration camp where they're like, that one, she just never shut up about like how the corporations were bad. And that's why she's here. Don't give her beer. Don't give her wine. She gets like really chatty about shit and then riles everybody up. So screw them. And I hope you guys all find a way to have fun. Next week, I'll try to do the show. Since I'm not going anywhere on Thanksgiving, really, I think I can do a short show if nothing else. I'll do a little something. I'll have a little like Thanksgiving surprise for you. It might not be a whole full show, but I'll be there. I'll do it. What the hell? So have a great week. I love you guys. I hope you all stay safe and whatever all that stuff that they tell you to say constantly over and over and over and over again. But I do mean it. I do want you to be safe because when it's over, we're having the biggest party ever and screw them. They will be like, well, we still wear masks forever. And I'm like, nope, I'm done with it. when COVID's done and the pandemic's done and this executive order's done, I'm partying my ass off. And I'm gonna like help like restaurants try to stay in business. And even though my husband thinks it's a bad idea, I'm gonna be like doing DoorDash if I have to. I'm gonna keep every business in the Mankato area afloat single-handedly. I don't know how. I'm on a diet, so that's gonna be really hard, but whatever. Love you guys. Have a great week, and we will see you next week for Thanksgiving. Yeah, take it easy.